Holy balls. That's my introduction.
3
Holy balls.
years.
3 years of the Pavel halls. The Pavel,
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 Pavel.
however
Hey,
you want to say it.
it's like when I thought it was a Russian series.
That
When I
was
I
amazing.
did too. Actually, I did too. I was like,
was
Pavel is such a Russian name. Hang on, he's not Russian. What the fuck?
yeah,
I know.
I saw your profile pic and then I saw it was Pavel Hall and I was like, is this a Russian series? And then he started talking to me and I'm like, oh, he seems to have pretty good English. I don't even
It's like,
know.
wait, what's this Italian man doing making a Russian series? This is
What?
weird.
So confused.
I'm so confused.
So confused.
I
Then
should get
again, you could,
links.
with your moustache and the hair, you could possibly pass as, some sort of Russian mobster type.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love my. I like my. I've now grown. I mean, it's awful. It's awful facial hair, but I have it.
I've seen worse. I've seen much worse. I've dated much worse. So
Oh, see, because like I want to have nice facial hair, but no.
it's fine. It's fine. One day you'll wake up and you'll have like a great big lumberjack beard. You'll just wake up and be like, holy fuck, where did this beard come from? And there'll be birds living in it and food bits in it from food you haven't eaten. It's wonderful.
You
Oh
mean
my
me when
god.
you mean me when I was growing my beard out for Deliverance and Trial of Leaves? Yeah.
Oh god, you just look like a hobo for so long.
Where it was like there.
It
It was like a full inch off my face.
was funny actually because I remember watching that and it was after you'd obviously trimmed and groomed and gone back to normal Josiah.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the video and just being like, holy shit, he does actually really look like a bum.
Yeah, no, and of
That's
course,
dedication, man. That's dedication.
and yeah, of course, I played it up. I didn't wash it. I ruffled it. I put dirt and stuff in it, but
It was
still.
worth it. It was worth it.
Oh,
You know,
oh, it was. Yeah, I'm really proud of it.
Yeah,
I mean, considering.
every time I have to film Pavel on the path, I'm like, well, time to not wash my hair for like 2 days. Time to look nasty.
Sounds like so gross.
That's why my hair's so long, is so that whenever Pavel gets back, he's all like, I've been here for a while, guys.
Oh, where have you guys been? I've been here. Look at my hair. And yet my facial hair is so, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
stylish.
It just kind of stops here. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't question it. It's play pretend. It's fine. It doesn't have to be the best.
in this Eldritch universe, I have access to a mustache.
Yeah, I think okay, because I'm gonna just say this now. There, we a year ago like in October 2013 we filmed the entire month and we filmed like a whole bunch of episodes for season 3. And so like there is stuff on the path where Pavel has shorter hair and no facial hair, well like barely any facial hair. So like we're gonna explain it off is that as whoever's taking care of his body, every so often we'll cut his hair. So we're gonna have a scene with him on the path after a while with all the long hair. Then all of a sudden it starts falling off, and he's
Uh,
like, "What?" And to explain, so there's no continuity error.
Or just do the Doctor Who route, which is wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of like, oh, don't just forget the fact that all of a sudden Pavel's chubbier. It's fine. It's
I was
okay.
like, what?
Forget about that. It's
You've been eating Twinkies on the path, mate.
see that was an issue. Is that like when I moved here and then like I had like 4 months or 5 months of just starving in the cold. I like
Yeah.
and like working out. I lost like so much weight, and then we watched Pavel Hall, and then we were all like, "Who's this chubby little man?"
You watching the old videos back, you are such a chubby little fuck. It's unbelievable.
It's so
Cute
weird.
chubby, but not like. It's like okay, there's chubby little boy, and now we have mustachioed man.
Yes, mustachioed Pavel is the best Pavel, I think, personally.
Not that you're biased or anything.
Oh no, I love my little ferret. It's awesome.
I feel like I need to get a pen and draw some sort of facial hair on me now. I feel very, very, very bare. That's probably not a good idea, but okay.
I like because I like the whole now that I'm like my bohemian self, my like starving artist self. I need some sort of facial hair, or else like it because I shaved it off once, like while living here, and everyone in my apartment was like, "What the fuck
oh,
is that?"
oh my
Oh my
god.
god!
No, like when I shave all my facial hair off, it's a problem because I look like I'm 17.
And I
You
hate
do
it
look
personally.
Like I'm
very,
very
very young.
youthful, so this is essential.
I remember
Every
my last boyfriend, he would grow a full on beard and then would shave it all off, and he'd instantly go from like 30-odd-year-old man to 12. And it's a magic power you guys seem to have. You have a beard and you look like a man, then you shave it off and you're a boy.
Hmm.
yeah, I like to keep the man thing going because mentally I'm like 12 still. I'm
Well,
like,
Aren't we all?
well, see, I like
yeah,
no, when I want to go play in the McDonald's play area and I don't want to get like bad looks, I shave it all off, and then
oh
it
my god.
works. They don't look twice, you know.
See, for
Yeah.
me, it's a little bit easier because I'm already short. I'm like 5'2", 5'3". If I want to pass for quite young, I just don't wear any makeup, and I have passed for 13, 14 whilst wearing nothing. If I wear makeup, I can pass for 16, 17. I'm pretty used to looking. I'm quite lucky. Having said
Oh, I didn't even notice that you were wearing that. I'm such an accepting person. I was like, okay, she has a tiara. Moving on with my life.
That was the. I thought
just
that was
wearing
obvious.
just wearing a
What?
tiara,
I just didn't. I'm
it's
also
me.
very tired.
It's me. It's this kind of shit is what I do.
Also, because I was up last night writing, and then I went to bed late, and then I had to do this. I wrote 16 pages last night, so kill me.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us more about this. I mean, something about audio
Okay,
drama. What are you doing now?
all right.
For
So
fuck's sake, Sal, pick something and stick to it.
no, I have to do all the things at once, or else I don't feel fulfilled in my life. Okay, so like a big issue I have with the next season is that I know it's gonna be fucking fantastic. Like I know this is gonna be like the best season of Pavel Hall like ever. Like Josiah's read some of the shit I've written, and I think and you have too, and you have an idea of just the bullshit that's gonna go on next season. Like just the insane because next season there's gonna be at least 10 episodes,
Hmm.
and every episode's gonna be at least 25 minutes long. It's gonna feel like a
Jesus.
TV show.
That's enough to
Like
make a
that's that.
film.
What?
That's like that's is that a movie? No. Yes. No. Possibly.
Like 4 episodes is a movie.
You
So I'm
you
making
could
like
you could make a Peter Jackson trilogy.
I'm making like 2.5 films basically, two and a
Yeah.
half feature films. But like so, and the thing I know is that there's a whole lot of new characters that come up in the next season. They're like the focus isn't entirely on Pavel, which is why I kind of call the show World Zero now, because just calling it Pavel Hall doesn't feel good to the story because it's not just Pavel anymore. It's like I mean, like he's the central character. He's the MacGuffin essentially. Like he's the thing
Poor
everyone
Pavel.
needs to do the thing. Poor baby.
He is.
But he's
Oh.
not the main character really. Like anymore. It's sort of like an ensemble because we have next season. It's you see the archive, you see Breaking Apathy, and then also you see Pavel on the Path. So it jumps between the three plot lines, and you see everybody sort of like why they're doing their thing. So an issue that I had was making sure that everyone understood what was happening without having to watch the other 2 seasons of the show. Because I know that people are gonna like see trailers for season 3 and be like, "This looks fucking amazing." Stroking my ego, I hope so. So hopefully they look at it and think this looks amazing, and then they try to go back and watch season 1 and 2, and they're like, "What is this garbage? What is this other trash?" And so I'm hoping that you could start season 3 and not have to watch the rest of it and just understand that Pavel's gone through some shit. We have a vague idea of what it is. let's move on with the plot. Like, let's just move on. Like, the whole point is for this season is to get Pavel to do the thing. So let's just focus on the people trying to find him and trying to get him to do what they need him to do. And so the audio drama is, I just thought of it on a whim. Like last night, I'm like, this could be a cool idea. So I don't even know if it'll happen. It could just fade out into existence. But I'm thinking of doing an audio drama that's like a few episodes, like very short episodes about breaking apathy and getting a look at how they operate because we mostly see the archive. So I want to get more of breaking apathy, but how I have them in my mind, it's way too expensive to show. So I'm like, audio. It's fine. Because every season has an audio episode. Like, season 1 had that one audio episode. Season 2 had those 2 audio episodes. Now season 3 is going to have a little audio series.
What stuff?
So many things. Like, the season is, like, over 200 pages already. Like, long. I don't think people get how hard I work. I don't think they get it. Like, I get a lot of asks from Farrell saying, "Where's the 3rd season?" And I'm like, I need like a couple $1,000.
Farrell. Fucking Farrell.
Because I need money for this is the saddest thing about it. Because the other 2 seasons were like, out of pocket, it's fine. But now it's like, there's a lot of scenes that need money. Help. So hopefully the audio drama and the first 2 to 3 episodes of Pavel Hall will be pretty cheap. Like, I can do it just on my own, just, like, get it out there. And then I'll be like, hey, so can I have some money now? Because do you want to see the rest of this? And then people might be like, sure. Or they'll be like, no. No.
No.
No. No.
So I have a question for you, Sal.
Oh my God.
It's been 3 years. How would you say Pavel Hall has changed, evolved, what have you, in 3 years?
Okay.
Ooh, good one. I like it.
The biggest thing is the story's changed. Originally, Pavel Hall was going to be a prequel show. That was going to be a season long. That was going to lead up to a different show. Also, the Fear Mythos wasn't a thing when I made it. Like, the whole reason why Pavel Hall was ever a Fear Mythos show is because I needed an audience, and the Fear Mythos had an audience. So I changed a lot of my plot lines and a lot of my character stories to fit the Fear Mythos so I can get an audience, which later fucked me over. But initially it was good because I got, like, people watched it because there was a community that I could, dig into and be like, hey, guys. Because originally it was just people fighting their internal fears, like kind of like Silent Hill.
Yeah.
But then when I found the Fear Mythos, I changed a lot of things to fit, like, the mold so I can get people watching, which is a good and bad idea, and I've felt both sides of it. Because originally Pavel was gonna, like, the way the other series started, it started with Pavel dying, like, off the bat. Or did he? And it's all about, like, his friends saying, like, and the show is gonna be cinematic, by the way. The only reason why Pavel Hall started found footage is because the friends were gonna find his footage eventually.
And it was the prequel series.
Yeah, so they're all like, wow, Pavel went, like, fucking insane before he died. Wow, like, what happened? And then they find out, like, Breaking Apathy was testing on them and on Pavel, and, like, then they get sucked into the whole thing, and then it becomes the whole people, like, pawns versus gods versus government thing story that it is now. But Pavel wasn't really going to be in it at all. Like, he was not a main character. It was mainly Corbin that was going to be the main character, along with, like, Frank, Vicky, Jack, all those people. And then just over the years it transformed, and now it is what it is.
Yeah.
So I guess what the biggest change is everything?
Yeah, pretty much.
If you didn't have that explanation beforehand, everything would have been just such a cop-out answer. What's changed? Everything. Oh.
Yeah, that's why I had to explain, because there's so much, like, I wanted to do that. Like, there's footage of Breaking Apathy, like, the show. Never gonna release it. It's awful, but it's there.
No,
It's
I
so
want to see
bad.
this.
Well, the
Because
thing
this
is,
is like
though, I
early
mean,
2012.
most Slender series as we know them pretty much have not started really as they've evolved. I mean, I don't know about, you guys, but I know obviously Tribe 12 started off as just a flat Marble Hornets rip. Um, Everyman Hybrid probably had a little bit more idea of what they were
Yeah.
doing.
I think Marble Hornets is probably the most consistent, I guess, in terms
Mm,
of like of course they got more involved with their effects and how they would
Yeah.
tell a story, but Marble
mm.
Hornets, like, you can pretty much watch that as one thing.
Yeah, it's just that that's the whole story. The whole story is there. Whereas, Tribe 12 and Everyman Hybrid got the social media thing really into what they do, and I'd say the same with with Pavel Hall, with Trial of Leaves, same thing. It's that because we are on a sort of smaller level, we really do have to bring the audience in, and we have to really up our A game in the stories that we're telling.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I think that's true for all three of us. We've all had to. I mean, it's not like we were. It's not like we were trying to pander or anything, but I feel like we all had to step up our game because we
Mm.
realized that we couldn't just um, just coast by on that. Hey, we're in the verse, which is
Yeah,
good.
it's like, look,
Yeah.
there's a tree, there's a slender man. Oh no, dead at the end.
Yeah, like me, I was like, well, I gotta show like a really violent like death with my gunshot on camera. Like I gotta show a headshot on camera.
And that
So,
got you so many subs.
oh, it
Oh
did.
my god, it did.
That video alone, I spammed the shit out of that video on Facebook and Tumblr and everywhere, and that alone got me. If I'm counting the subs I've got since then, it probably have bumped me up from 300 to 400
Yeah.
about just because I was like, this is it. We're gonna go all out for the finale of
And
season
you did.
one.
You did.
So
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
like,
even though like I'm friends with you guys, and obviously I know you within the verse, I watched it completely just as a viewer, and I actually cried. I cried
oh,
because you get to the point where they find you, and it's like, yes, everything's great, and then bam, dead. And I just
no,
I didn't recover. I didn't recover for at least a
it,
good couple of days.
for me, it was funny because I read that script like forever ago before it even happened, and then I was watching it, and like Josiah does this thing where like he changes things without telling me,
yeah,
like because he knows that I like to, because I started as a fan, so he likes to mess with me, even though I'm like in the creation of the show. So
yeah.
like, I didn't know when the gunshot was gonna happen, and so that freaked me out because I didn't know when it was coming. But like I kind of like we opened up and it panned up, and I'm like, oh wait, oh god, and that was really cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
it certainly was. It was.
because a thing that Josiah will back me up on this. Whenever I was first like in the verse and stuff, a lot of things I did was I would go on the forums and Skype groups and message boards and shit, and I'll be like, what is not allowed or what is not accepted in a Slenderverse series or if you're Mythos series, and then people would tell me, and then I would do them
Yeah.
and do them well, like
Yeah.
cinematic, Slendy monologuing, like all these things that, and like music in your video, like. I don't think I was the first, but I feel like I was one of the first to do like musical distortion. Like
I
to have
I don't think you were the first. I think you were just the first to take the idea and say, well, let's not do this as a cheat. Let's do this because I've structured my show where I can do this and nobody else can.
Yeah, well, not the first, but like one of the first to think like, hey, distortion shouldn't just be, it should be like, and like go with the scene, and like,
Mm.
because like I love musical distortion. Like whenever I first did it in my editor, I was like, yes, this is beautiful,
Yes.
and like switching it to cinematic was really, really fun because that was like, I was so scared that day, like uploading it because I knew people either fucking hate me or like be like, wow, that was pretty interesting. But like it was like one of the two. So thankfully no one hated me until much later when I did credits, which is another thing that you don't do is credits.
But that's the thing, though. This is what frustrates me about the Slenderverse as a whole. It's, right, what do you want to see? Oh, we want to see more originality. Okay, here's some originality. That's not what the other series do. And it's like, what do you want?
Yeah.
You just want Marble Hornets, don't you? That's all you want. You want
Yeah,
another Marble Hornet.
Is
That's
the
the
thing
one
is
thing I
that
love about Pavel.
oh yeah the thing is
you.
that even if the original idea doesn't quite work, you should try it out anyway. That's what I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Well, because the story of Pavel Hall was originally, or Breaking Apathy, was it was supposed to be about a group of friends fighting, um, to like protect themselves and each other. But now it's sort of, since when I made Pavel Hall, I didn't really have any friends to do the show with. It became about someone on their own, which is a very different story. And so now it's become about someone who's being used and tries to survive and make the best of the situation and take control, but he's fighting against powers that he can barely even comprehend.
Yeah.
And so that's the story now. Like, it's changed heavily, but mainly because in that first season or two, or for most of it, like, no one would show up for filming. People wouldn't like. I love Will. I want to say this right now because I'm about to tell a bad story about Will. I love him, but it took him a while to get good. And there's an episode in Pavel Hall, season 1, where Pavel's on the phone with Corbin, and he's trying to get him to come over because he needs to tell him something, and Corbin won't come over, won't answer his phone.
Oh no.
Episode
Oh,
without him. What?
oh, Sal, you froze. Go
Yeah,
back
Sal,
to
you bugged out then.
Darn! When did I bug out?
you bugged out
Um,
around. You were saying
Will on the phone, I think.
Okay.
he,
Like,
he
so in
was
the
supposed to
episode,
come over.
yeah. So Corbin was supposed to come over, but Will wouldn't. So I had to rewrite the episode and do a different episode. Like, in that episode, you were supposed to find out that Corbin might have been working with Slendies, or as I've now called him in season 3, the Faceless King, because copyright's bullshit.
Yeah.
No, but that's a
cool.
better name.
Yeah,
It is actually. It is. It's a lot better.
and yeah, and there was gonna be a whole thing about that, but Slendy kind of doesn't really show up in season 3, except for like a moment, because he's not important to the story really. Because like he's there, but he's not like a big. Like, people like to say that he's the big thing, and I'm like, no, it's like the Inferno. She like is controlling everything, like literally. It's fine, but yeah, like no one would show up for filming a lot of the time. Like, the chick who played Karen, like Karen was supposed to be like a main character throughout, but she just wouldn't show up, and like I couldn't get a hold of her, and so I was just kind of like, okay, I guess that ruins some things I wanted to do. And then, Frank and Vicky. Anyway, that doesn't need an explanation. Not publicly anyway.
Oh,
Not publicly.
tell me after this. Message me. I like
'Cause I
bitching
love-
about people.
Because I love them, but the guy who plays Frank is better in a comedy role. And I think the girl who played Vicky just wasn't ready as an actress yet. Like, I think eventually she could be. I think they both could in a serious role, but like I was taking people who mostly either didn't do anything or did comedies and tried to make them do serious stuff. Which is what I did with Will, but I lucked out because Will eventually like did that one scene in season 2 that was like so good, and I was like, you can act. Yes. No, like one of my favorite parts of like before season 3 is Corbin's speech where he thinks he's the hero. It's so good. Because Will like spent like an hour just learning his lines, and Will never does that. Will just kind of like goes off the hook and he's like, okay, we'll just do it. But then he like gave a shit that day, and I was like, I love you, and he gave like we were on set and like I'm standing behind the DP, which is director of photography, not double penetration.
No,
Feral.
it's both.
Yeah. Director of photography, doing a little bit of DP.
Oh
Am I
yeah,
right? Am I
just a
right?
little bit. Yeah. But like I was sitting behind him and I'm watching like the camera and I'm watching the scene unfold and I'm just like, oh my god! And I was like, cut! That was so good. I think that the reason why I think I need credits is because I have such a big fucking cast and crew. Like, shit. And now I do. Like I only put in credits when I needed credits because if I put in credits since season one, it would have been written, directed, and edited by Salvatore. The end. But then, like, it gets to the end of season two, and it's like written by two people, directed by someone, shot by someone else, edited by like three people. It's this whole big thing, and there's like five characters. Especially for the next season, because there's episodes that aren't even directed by me. I'm having like guest directors come in, so that's gonna be fun.
You can have like Quentin Tarantino just popping by.
Yeah.
That
How'd
would
you
be so
know?
cool.
Wait, did
Do
he
you
tell
see a
you?
sign that says Dead Proxy Storage?
Oh my god, just
He totally.
oh, there's yelling in the distance. It's fine. But yeah, like, what are we talking about? I just
I
lost
said
my
Quentin
brain.
Tarantino, and then everyone just kind of exploded.
Oh yeah. Well, Tarantino's awesome. That's why.
I think we were talking about. Well, it all stemmed. This whole tangent stemmed from my asking you what has evolved. How's your
Oh
series
yeah.
changed?
You know, I guess I'll talk about the cinematic stuff because that's a big thing I love about it is that I love found footage, but only sometimes. And that sounds a bit weird, but only because I think it makes sense if the characters themselves would realistically be having a camera in this situation. I don't like it when it's just some random person who starts recording and all of a sudden spooky shit happens. It's like, no, that's not how this works. Like, I know, like a bunch of series, like they have people who it wouldn't make sense for them to have a camera. And while writing, I found out that there's a lot of things that happen where Pavel just wouldn't have a camera on him, and that kept happening. And I started getting really annoyed because I wanted to show this, but I didn't want to shoehorn in the camera because
Yeah.
it would impede the situation or something. So I was just like, fuck it. It just goes back and forth, and then season 3 is just entirely not found footage at all. No, that's a lie. There's like one scene.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I lied to everybody.
You've lied to the whole world, Sal.
I did.
You've let everyone down.
Shit. Already?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yes.
It's not even been on that long.
So like some.
Hey, look, you've made Josiah leave.
Oh
That's
fuck.
That's how badly you've let him down.
He hates me.
Look, he's gone. He's even muted. What is he about to do? What is he about to do?
But yeah, so there's
like
like.
he's chopping up a body or something. Sorry.
Oh.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing right now.
He's murderings.
He's murdering.
A big thing I like actually is okay.
Oh, that was a quick murdering.
A big thing I like also in my favorite audio drama is I Love Bees, which is technically a found audio in a weird way, like the way it's structured, and like that's also a format I think hasn't really been sunken into, because it's definitely, I'm not gonna say an audio drama is easier than an actual shot thing, but it certainly costs less money.
Yeah.
Like, it certainly is cheaper to do than a film. And I'm surprised not a lot of people in the verse have done a found audio thing.
I was going to do She is the Huntress like that initially. I mean, I started off with the podcast, which was super easy to do.
Yeah.
But then I wanted to move on to video because there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't show through audio.
Yeah.
So, but I was interested. I mean, like, Welcome to Night Vale has obviously been a huge movement in horror. and I thought that's what I'd really, really like to do, but it just never happened. So it'd be interesting
Yeah.
to see or hear, um, or speak or taste or whatever. It'd be interesting to experience something audio based, and as you say, it would be a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah, because a big thing I like as an artist that I want to do with my career is to make things that people who have disabilities could enjoy. So I want to do audio stuff. I want to do comics, and I want to do like film. So like everybody can enjoy something that I've done. Like I have a few audio drama ideas that I want to make, specifically for people who are blind and can't watch movies or like really read books. Like they can listen to audiobooks, but something that's tailored to them, to someone who cannot see. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that's a lot of things I want to do. Because I have a sci-fi story about a girl who grows up on Ganymede and she's blind. Like that's a story I want to do. And like so I just kind of I like because I think for everyone in the Slenderverse and the Fear Mythos, these series that we're doing, there are like our film school. Like a lot of like because I live in a house with like 4 creators or something. Like we all did different shows, and we're all like, yeah, like this is what taught us how to do certain things and make certain things. Like I've grown so much as an artist making Pavel Hall, like as a writer, as a director, as an actor, an editor, like everything that's in my field, I've grown so much.
As a mustachioed man.
Yes, and my mustache.
Mustache.
Moustache.
And
No.
I think that's and I feel like that's true with everybody, right? Or is that just
No,
No, I grew a moustache too.
yeah?
It's I think everyone kind of grows, but I can attest to that. I'm not a professional. I'm mostly self-taught. Not in terms of like acting, but in terms of everything else.
Filmmaking.
Directing, editing.
Everyone go watch Josiah's movie, by the way. It's really good.
Oh,
Plug. You're welcome.
I haven't watched it in so long. I don't know.
I watch it every 5 or 6 months.
I thought you were going to say
I
like
like it.
5 or 6 days. I was going to go, hang on.
Nah, I like it a lot though.
I mean, for what it is, for what it was made for, I'd say it's pretty good. But
It's a good first feature. Like it's pretty fucking solid as a feature. I guess it hits me more because A, you're my friend, and B, we think kind of alike, so it really hits me.
well, the movie, Where Are We Going? It was supposed to kind of speak to people who had similar experiences. It was definitely Aaron, one of my other partners besides Sal. Aaron and I kind of tailored it to explore kind of our life experiences about dealing with moving on from people and what you feel like how when usually as human beings when you have relationship problems you don't do what most romantic comedies do where you fly across the country, get into some slapstick adventures, break up the wedding, and then boom, oh, of
It
course
works.
I love you, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that
there's
never
no
happened.
like and I stuff like that, and I just wanted to be like, no, I wanted this to be more realistic about how you just feel completely helpless. The character is intentionally unable to really do anything because when someone doesn't want to be with you, can't really
Yeah.
change that. It's kind of just like, well, shit, I better just get over it.
That's why I love that movie. Like it's so good.
And stuff like that. And I know, and Sal did work on that film a little bit.
Not as much as I would have wanted, but I did what I could.
I mean, to tell you the truth, you kind of came into it when we were like in the process of filming.
Yeah.
Like it was pre-production was like so far gone that it was kind of you're just like, hey, I want to help out with stuff, and I'm like, well, I mean, kind of this is kind of like we're shooting on the fly. We're trying to shoot whenever we can. I don't really have time to.
Plus,
check in with you all the time.
I wasn't in Washington yet.
Oh well, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
if
that was unfortunate.
which sucked. Oh my god. Do you remember that idea we had for like a okay. here's an idea that me and Josiah had like ages ago. Whenever I was living back in South Carolina, um, we wanted to do a film about. It was sort of like a romantic comedy, but it was about a long distance relationship, and I would shoot one side of the relationship, and he would shoot the other. So like, it was literally a long distance relationship, and they would never meet because that's like the reality of a lot of long distance couples is that they never actually get to see each other.
Hmm.
So many long distance relationships happen and then end without the two ever like physically being in the same space as the other.
And
Mm.
see,
So
that idea could still work. I have an idea actually. You know that that movie that came out, Unfriended,
yeah, I
where
need to watch it though.
it's all from a girl's computer screen. I think what you could do with that is you show a long distance relationship, show both of their computers. And I don't know how you'd like cut back and forth where you could just show the computer screens. You'd have to have like some kind of thing, but you could go back and forth, and you could show like what do they say to each other, and then what's actually going on with them, and what are they doing?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's just really fascinating to do. Would be to do that, yeah. But
Yeah.
so we could still
'Cause-
make that.
yeah, we could. Just except you're up like two towns up and I'm like 2 towns down and
Well, I mean,
it's
you can fake it because since it is all from
yeah.
a computer screen. I feel like the way you would do that, right? So let's just do a quick little tangent for the idea. I feel like how
Yeah.
is we would write a script on what they say to each other, and then we would take the time to take an individual character and map out what they're actually doing away from that conversation. And we interpret
Yeah.
those characters separately, so it ends up not being so it ends up with two different distinct people because we're interpreting
Yeah.
and there's no input on what that person's doing, just what this
Right.
person thinks they're doing, you know.
It literally means you've made two completely separate people, not one person making two people. It's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
two people creating a separate character each. Yeah, yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah, so you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah.
Moves can happen eventually. We have too many ideas. That's the issue.
I
Every
think,
time
yeah.
we're in the same space, we're like, hey, we have 20 ideas. Oh God.
Oh, now we have 24. Now we have 32.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus.
Now we're dead.
That's the thing, like, because being an artist, there's two states you can be in. Either you don't have enough ideas, or you have too fucking many, and both are terrifying in their own separate way.
Yeah. They really are.
Because if you don't have enough ideas, it's like you feel constrained by the ones that you've already gotten. But if you have too many, you feel like a flood of like, because like, and that's the thing. Because like last night, like as you said, I do too many things. I do. Like, what am I doing right now other than like fucking everything? Like I have a book, two books I'm working on, two novellas, like Pavel Hall season 3, the audio drama now. Like I'm kind of working on Josiah's thing. I'm working on another series that I cannot talk about because it's top secret. And like a whole bunch of other little things that don't even have names really. Oh yeah, like my kids book I want to make. Like it just
But
there's
see-
too much.
But see, I kind of
There's too
envy
much.
you because, like, I'm like you, but I am even more indecisive about actually making things. Like, fuck, man, you've almost written a book, and I'm just like, hey, I got like 30 scripts I need to finish. Guess you can't write more than a couple of sentences, and
Oh, that's the weird thing is that, like I've technically written a book, but I'm so like weird about it right now that I can't finish it because now I want to do a prequel to that book before that book comes out. So now I have to write another book before I can finish writing the first book I already written. Too many
Yeah,
things.
I think the problem with me is that I've always been creative, and I've always been the same. I've always had like a million things on the go. But the problem with that as well is when you mix that with a personality disorder, it becomes unpredictable. So
Yeah.
I want She is the Huntress written, and I do have a deadline in mind, but that's going to be released over the next couple of days. That's why I've been filming and stuff. But I have a deadline, and I'm thinking, right, that's a deadline. But I'm also working on some other stuff as well, and I'm planning to go back to university, and I'm planning to do several other things as well. And it's like, how about I just don't do any of that and curl up into a ball and sleep? That sounds like a good idea, and that's what I do. And it's really, really hard trying to balance this creative side with the fact that my brain sometimes just goes nope.
Yeah, I somewhat do that. Like I'll wake up and like I'll get to my computer and I'll start writing and I'll open up like Celtics or whatever and I'll be like, I am not in an energetic mood to do this. I'm gonna lay on my couch and watch Game Grumps all day and then feel like a piece of shit because I can't write. Oh God, I hate myself. I want to die. Oh
And
no.
it's like, you ask for writing advice. I mean, if you go for like writing advice, people say the same thing. It's like, just write, just get up and write. It's like,
Fuck those people. They don't know shit.
it's
Well,
like, yes, that is a very good idea, but
Yeah, it sounds good.
it's like, what if the
in
only word I
theory.
can write? It's like, what if the only word I can write is badger? Should I just carry on writing badger until I have a novel full of the word badger?
Because, like, the thing is, I'll start to write, and if I'm not in the mood to write, but I somehow manage to start typing words, I'll reread them and be like, wow, that's some piece of shit because I wasn't in a good mood to write or didn't have
Yeah.
the right spark to do it. So, yeah, I wrote every day, but it's all garbage I'm going to delete anyway, so what's the fucking point? It's not going to, like, improve my life by rewriting garbage. I'm just going to feel worse because I just spent the whole day writing garbage. Writing's hard. Art's hard.
It is.
I fucking hate people. I'm gonna start ranting. I
Oh
fucking hate
dear.
people
Oh dear. Sounds gonna go.
who are like, oh, you make art? That's such a bullshit career choice. Like that's so unimportant. That's so stupid. Except like this is like some like, okay. I respect people who can live their lives like working like a 9 to 5 job, like get married, have a kid, and enjoy raising that kid, and just like that's their life, and they're happy with that.
How so,
I
people? We
envy
do
that.
not discredit your life choices. We do not do that here.
But don't. I actually like. I do envy it because like that's so like impressive to me
yeah.
in a way. Because like for me, like I don't want to do that. Like I haven't had a job for a little while after my last one let me go. So I've been looking and looking and looking, and I just can't find anything. And yet, but also because in my head I don't want any of it because I just want to be writing every day and make money off of my art. Like that's a big like because I just want to be able to write and film, edit, upload, get money, buy myself some fucking food, maybe a video game once in a while, and then just keep going and doing that. And like I want the cycle to keep going because I feel like the people who say, "Oh, art's not important, art's a bullshit career choice, just get a normal job, blah blah," are also the people who have nothing else to talk about other than complaining about their job or talking about the movie they just watched. But who the fuck made the movie for you to talk about and to
Yeah.
enjoy? I
Oh,
did, you motherfucker.
It was another loser like me who made that film, and also, how long have you been waiting for Game of Thrones? Yeah, did that just come out of nowhere? No? Okay.
Yeah, it's been yeah. A whole guy had to have a whole career of like bullshit and people's of like you telling him to not do that. And then he had to persevere through that and then do it for you to enjoy it. But you're the one who said that he shouldn't fucking do it. You're a hypocrite, and I hate you.
Salvatore, everyone.
So, I think because I usually ask this at every I think we usually kind of come back to this question at every stream we have for Pavel Hall or Trial of Leisure stuff. But what episode of Pavel Hall do you think makes you feel the most accomplished, or what episode is your favorite? I guess what one was the hardest to do?
Okay, you that's already out. Okay, because
yeah, because
okay.
you can't have a favorite or hardest you've worked on because you haven't done
if it doesn't
the whole
exist.
thing yet.
No.
Yeah, because there is a script that you know about that I
Yeah.
love really hard for an episode. Everyone, season 3 episode called "The Fall" gave me a panic attack while writing. So enjoy that little tidbit of information.
Is that one I read?
No, you actually that I wrote that after I sent them to you. Because I'm redoing the whole season now a little bit.
I
Like,
know,
to fit.
you're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah.
I'm there minding my own business, and it's like, oh yeah, you know all those scripts I sent you? Yeah, forget about them.
Yeah, all like 200 pages. Forget that. You'll get like 400 in a little bit. It's fine.
Well, but yeah, fuck you too.
Okay. So my favorite one so far.
Yeah.
Here, hey, can you write the questions in the chat so that because I'm about to go off on tangents for every question. So
Okay.
Of course you are. This is kind of, isn't this what we all do?
yeah, I like to talk. I like the sound of my own voice. Not the sound, but I like the fact that I can make the words and people are like, yes,
Those are some mighty fine words, chap. Some mighty
yes.
fine words.
So my favorite episode so far. Jesus Christ. That's such a hard question. I need kind of, and I also kind of forget what episodes I've done, so I'm gonna pull up the list of episodes. It's been 3 years. I'm allowed to forget things. It's fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. We forgive you.
Okay, I'm pulling it up on the side so
I'm
that I.
joking. I'm joking. We don't forgive you. You're a terrible director.
I'm trying to think of different questions.
Oh, oh no.
I'm British.
Okay.
I'm sarcastic. Get used to it.
It was so funny. We never like talked like verbally before. So like you came on, I was like, oh yeah, that's right. She's British.
Yes,
The accent just like hit me.
yeah, that does take people by surprise because obviously I've spoken to you all online for quite some time now, probably a number of years. People do forget when they talk to me, oh shit, she's actually British. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I put 5 questions in the chat.
Okay. Let's see.
I need to get a charger.
In the chat. In the chat. I'm trying to find the chat. Where's the chat on Google?
It's fine on mobile. I'm on mobile, so it looks the same to me.
Oh. So it might be on the actual videos chat.
Maybe.
You know what you could you know what you should do? Just send it to my Facebook.
Okay.
I'm a bastard. Okay, let me go through these episodes. Oh my god. My favorite. My favorite. It's all isn't a good answer. Or a correct
it's
one. 'Cause
terrible.
there's some I
No.
hate.
All is a terrible answer. You're not allowed to say
There's
all.
some, there's some that I hate.
Well, you can do that one next.
The ones I hate.
Yeah.
Oh hey, a message from Josiah Miller.
Yeah, what a coincidence.
Favorite episode. Okay, Jesus. It's
I'm trying to actually find what my favourite episode is. Hang on.
Yeah, yeah.
I really shit. They're all like season 2 episodes also, by the way, because season 2 is my favorite one so far. Because season 2's when shit actually gets good. I think Never Meant to Know is pretty good. I think that's maybe my favorite one so far. Because maybe shit. Fuck, dude.
You also have to explain why it's your favorite.
Yeah. Well. Christ.
Josiah's basically going for your balls right now.
He really is. It's hard.
You will suffer.
Okay.
Right, where am I going?
Yeah, I'd say Never Meant to Know because like it's the first one that like it really kind of gets to the tone of what I wanted, and it's that mix of found footage and cinematic. The acting is great on that one, I think, because Will actually gave a damn that episode.
It's always nice when your actors
And-
give a damn about something, especially what they're meant to be doing.
And I think everything just feels good in that episode. Not like good feeling, but like the editing, the acting, the camera work, which is done on my iPhone, by the way. Like all just sort of. I think it's the one I have like no issues with. It's the one that I can look back on if I had to reshoot it and re-edit it. I don't have anything I would change.
Mm.
That might be why it's my fave, because I was about to say in Transit, number 33, but I would make the fight seem more seamless and stuff. Because that was almost my favorite. I almost said in Transit, because all the Kathleen scene is so good, because Tony's such a great actress. Like, I love her. I wish she could have stayed on longer, because season 3, she's in like one episode, then she's gone for a bit. Um, and I really enjoyed her. She's like my favorite actress on the show, next to the chick who plays the Inferno.
She is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the thing about because now that actress who plays Kathleen, she's off at college. She's super busy with life and stuff, and it's hard to get her. Um, but with the Inferno, I've written some scenes because with her and Corbin that take place that I have to actually fly back to South Carolina to shoot eventually. Yay! See, I'd say Never Meant to Know is my favorite because it was almost Break On Through to the Other Side, which is the first one in the path.
I was
But
just about
I have
to say
That one's really
that
good.
is my favourite. That is my favourite. I do like Break On Through to the
yeah.
Other Side.
I
There's nothing
I just
about it
don't.
that I don't like.
There are things that in my head I know that I need to fix. So there's also a mistake in there. Yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. Really early on. I've never said this to anybody, so enjoy this little tidbit. If you watch it, when Pavel stands up, it's kind of sped up a little bit. Like a little bit. And that's because off screen, the guy who played Frank was there as he was helping out. And I think he made like some dick joke. And I kind of laughed a little bit during the take. And when I was acting, I thought it was fine. I thought like the camera didn't pick it up. It so did, and it was like we couldn't reshoot
Sorry,
it.
I'm getting this on my phone now to actually look at this.
And so like as I stand up, I kind of I smile for like a second, then I kind of go at the acting like, oh, what's happening here? And I hate it every time I watch the episode. I'm always like, fuck, why did that happen?
I think maybe I don't know how it is for you, Claire, but I think I can definitely speak for myself that the details that bug people who make the videos, nobody ever sees them. You have to
Oh
point them
God,
out.
yes.
Like the two
Ugh.
I have are in Deliverance. My shoe spontaneously reappears for the final scene, and I got so mad, and I was like, I should just distort over that, but then you won't get to see the blinding very well. I'm just gonna leave it on. And then the other one is in Nothing Helps when Slender Man appears at the doorway. There's like some intercuts, and the tie is askew, and it bugs the hell out of me. I don't know why.
I just want to say I have just watched Break On Through to the Other Side, and I've spotted the speedy up bit. But I would never have noticed it unless you'd have said it.
Yeah, that's the thing. But for me, since I edit all the episodes pretty much, except for some effects here and there, I can tell every single little fucking mistake.
There
I
is
hate
one
it.
thing. There's been I will say I have shoddy production for She is the Huntress. I really, really do because I don't like editing. But there is one bit in one of the videos that did my fucking head in. Was which video was it? I think it was from Sadish when it was me and Chris in the hotel room. There was the bit where Claire comes in to rescue him, and what I didn't notice at the time until it was all filmed and we'd gone was that by where Chris sort of scuttles into the corner away from me, you can actually see Sadish's dress. where I'd taken it off, put it down, and we couldn't exactly go back to the hotel to refilm it.
Yeah.
So I had to just be like, let's posterize the fuck out of this and hope no one notices. Nobody did, and now if you see it, you're probably going to notice the fact that just as he scuttles into the corner, there's just a tiny little bit of green, and that is the Darish's dress.
There's a mistake, and I think it's Never-Ending Pain, where Pavel's walking on the path, and in the corner you could see litter. Someone had thrown away like a big gulp cup in the path, and like I didn't notice it at the time until editing, and we couldn't go back. So I was like, well, I guess someone was having a drink on the path.
Yep. That's
Big
totally plausible.
whoops.
That's totally plausible.
I was so mad when I went to the editing. When I got into editing, I was like, "Are you fucking for real? Someone like took a big gulp to the path? Are you? Okay. Okay. So the next question is hardest episode to make. The finale for season 2 was atrocious because that episode, because originally there wasn't going to be a third season. It was supposed to just quickly end after at the end of season 2. Like there's supposed to be some things happen and then it ends. But we couldn't get, because that was, I filmed the last episode in that month where I was okay, I should explain this before I go into it. But in about, I think, early September of 2014, I was planning to move to Washington because I was in South Carolina, was where all the episodes that have come out so far have been shot. And I was going to move in March of this year. I was going to move here. Me and Josiah were going to get an apartment, and we were going to find jobs and, do the art thing. My mom has, big, abandonment issues because, my sister moved away, but she was also, 23, so I don't know why it's a big deal. But, so I told her, hey, in next March, I'm going to move to Washington with Josiah, and we get a place, and I'm going to save up some money so that when I move there, I can get a place, have some cushion so that I can buy food and survive for a bit and pay rent until I find a good job, and also I'm going to leave some money for you so that you're, okay. Slowly over the next 2 weeks, my mom started to guilt trip me really hard about it, and it just exploded in this big fight to which she was just like, if you're going to move out, just leave now.
I vaguely remember this. I remember this blowing up.
Yeah, and so I did, and I moved in with Will, who plays Corbin. And then I lived there from, the end of, wait a minute. Am I right in my count? When did, blah, blah. Yeah, September. Yeah. So end of September to October 31st, I lived with Will. And in that time, I had to hurry up and shoot everything I needed to in South Carolina because I was moving to Washington. So I had to shoot literally for a month and a half solid of Pavel Hall, and there were rewrites every night. Every day was a big fucking struggle. Also because I was because my mom also wouldn't let me go back to the house and get something, so I'd break into my house sometimes and get stuff, and get some clothes and some of my things. Also, my mom refused to give me my my official government papers, my birth certificate, my health stuff, my passport, my social security card. She refused to give it to me. So I had to call the cops on her and shit, and there's this whole big thing, and also packing up, also making arrangements to move here because I couldn't move in with Josiah yet because that wasn't the plan. So I had to find someone else to move in with. And so thankfully, my buddy Maya, who makes Clover in Chicago, was like, "You can live on my couch for a bit," and I was like, "Yay!" So I arranged to do that, and then over the entire month, I had to make plans, save up some money. Karina and Josiah both gave me $100 so I can buy my plane ticket. It was just so much just chaos, and I was also still working. And Will, my job, I live right down the road from it, so I can just walk to work. But Will lived on the other side of town, so it was so hard to get to work. And while I was doing that, I was filming the last episode, in which so I'm gonna pull the episode and just go through the scenes and talk about how bullshit they were. Viewer discretion is advised.
Viewer discretion is advised because it's all bullshit.
Yeah. So the very first scene between Corbin and the Inferno. That's actually shot on the trail that we shot Never Meant to Know. It's shot in that little turn. But getting out there was hard because we had myself. It was myself, Will, Curie, who plays the Inferno, Morgan, who plays the Second Forger, also my director of photography. And there's only so many seats in the truck, and the back was just filled with equipment. So and like we were parked like a bit away because there was no parking lot around the trail, and but Will could drive up to it technically. So and like other people came in other cars, so I came with Will. But when we had to go to the trail, I let everyone get in the car before me because I was gonna get the last seat, and then there was no more seats. So I ran alongside the truck to the trail because I
You
couldn't
actually
get.
ran.
I ran all the way to the chute
Oh my god.
next to the truck. So already the shoot was great. Um, Also, while we were there, like people were walking their dogs and shit, and like we were, and like, and but like Kiri had like a katana, so it was like okay, and like a gun too. So that wasn't the hardest like shoot of that time though, but the next one was the one between Ava and Pavel because okay, Ava was gonna be played by my friend Chizzy, and there's actually like some scenes of her as Ava that we had to delete because they didn't fit the story anymore. Like if you go, I think into episode 34 and go to the end credits, you can see a little preview of the next episode with her as Ava. And but that weekend, since we're on that tight schedule for that 1 month, um, she is also a cosplayer, so she was like a state away at a convention. So I had to recast that whole character because she couldn't come that day. And so the night before, I messaged my friend and I was like, "Can you come and act?" And she was like, "No, but I have this other friend who I know." And so then we got Emery, who plays Ava now, and so we got to the shoot, and we had never met before, and she never read the script before, and that was atrocious. Also because in that scene when Kathleen's like, "I have to go," she was literally leaving to college. So that's the last time we could get her ever. So
Oh.
and she had to go at like a certain deadline. So we had to shoot all of her stuff and then all of her. So that's why there's a point in the conversation when they're talking where it's like over the shoulder, over the shoulder, over the shoulder. Then all of a sudden it gets the close-ups because that's when she got the text of "I have to go soon." So we just shot all of her stuff up close to her, shot the stuff outside. She hugged Ava and then she literally left for college. I've never seen her since.
Jesus.
God, what else happened? Oh yeah, and then spoiler alert: the killing of Frank and Ava. I mean, Frank and Vicky. Because we're shooting in like this park, and there's people everywhere, and like Corbin had a gun, so I had to go because I've had the cops called on me before for having guns like in public for a shoot. So like I had to go to everybody in the park, like every parent, and tell them, "Hey, I'm a director. That's the film crew. There's gonna be a gun. It's an airsoft gun. You can see it if you want to see that it's a fake gun." And it took like an hour. And then when we actually got to get to the shoot, I think someone forgot a battery pack. So we had to drive all the way back, get a battery pack, come back, shoot that.
Jesus.
So that was the hardest episode to shoot.
Yeah.
And just it hurts thinking about it. It's painful.
Yeah.
And like that, but I do love that episode because it's like a preview what's to come because it's like a pretty long episode, and it's like in that aspect ratio that I love and with the color correction that I'm digging and the style I want to shoot with.
Mm.
So it's sort of like it leads into the next season where everything's super fucking long and shot like that. But some of it's better acted. I love them though. They're great people.
You can only do what you can do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Unless you have and hire professional actors, you've got to work with what you've got, and most of what we've got is, well, our friends, and it is tough. I mean, Chris has been accused of being wooden I don't know how many times, bless him. He tries. It's all we can do with what we've got.
Yeah. Like I'm so glad that Will in the end got really good at acting. Like I didn't know where too, because like all of a sudden he was just like on point, and I was just like, there's a scene that we shot for the third season that was probably the hardest one to shoot as well because it's me, it's Pavel and Corbin, um, and it was like muddy and gross and in the middle of the woods, and Will at one point got bugs got into his shoe, and like he was and Will. Up until then, I always thought Will would just be like, "Okay, can we end it now? Because I got all these bugs on me and I can't keep going." Will was like, "No, let's finish the shoot," and I was like, "Okay." And like over the course of the shoot, like it got worse and worse and worse. And they were like climbing up his leg and they were like getting all over his foot. Will, being the fucking trooper, just didn't care. And I was like, "When did this happen with you?"
So in that moment, Will became Christian Bale, basically.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I loved it. Like he was just like in it to win it, and we got like so like gross and muddy and like messed up on that shoot. It was fantastic, and like I can't talk about it really because it's not out yet, so I can't like
Spoilers!
say things about what happens, but it's good. It's good stuff.
I can't say anything, but it's good.
That's most of my thing right now. Is like I can't say this, but like I can't say why, but it just is. Believe me, it'll come out one day.
So good.
So what's the best behind the scenes moment? Do you mean like funny?
Well, yeah, or a moment that just really brought the whole experience together for you.
I think the funniest moment is we're shooting Never Meant to Know, and Nathan, who played our Slendy, we had to carve the KC into the tree. So for that one shot, and he brought his knife so we can carve it in, and so he's doing it for me because I'm not like that good at it. And then I look over and like I have like my camera, and I'm all like haggard looking, and so then there's this guy in a suit, no face, a gigantic knife carving into a tree. And this lady comes by and she's like jogging and she like slows down and she's like, and I turned to her and I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay. No, we're filming film art. It's okay. We're fine." And then Nathan turns like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." He lifts his mask and he's like, we're just making a movie. Sorry to freak you out. Sorry." And she's like, "Okay," and like runs away like and like faster. And I was just like, I'm so ashamed. That's the funniest moment. Like I'm trying to think of a serious like all BTS moments are funny. Typically, like I guess there's a lot of times shooting the later stuff of season 2 where I was like, it's coming together. Like this is what I wanted the whole time, which was awesome. Especially in the last episode, because that's the one that fits the tone and the feel that I've always wanted. So,
Yeah.
and those are ones that I was just directing. I wasn't actually the camera for them. So I was just able to kind of like watch it happen, like see it unfold, and it was fantastic. Because like my DP, for those scenes, Spencer, he has such a good eye, and also like before every shoot, we would just sit down. We go to his place, we sit down, we go through the script and just act it out and like think of shots, and like, and so we were pretty prepared for every scene, and like we got some good stuff. Like it was just, I guess it was all good, but just stressful.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it. It was.
Yeah, that's good. Just wanted to get you to tell some stories.
Yeah, it's. There's this one that was. Okay, so. Break on through to the other side. Spencer wasn't shooting it. My friend Ricky was, and Ricky's a fucking idiot.
That's always a good way to start a story.
He's really funny, and he's so inappropriate, and like, so Ricky also doesn't care about anything. Like he has no shame whatsoever. So we're filming, and there's this one scene that Pavel's on the ground screaming at Islandi, like "fuck you, bitch," and and so I'm always on the ground because I don't want to get up and ruin like where I am position wise. And Jesus, Ricky, I look over at Ricky to give him some direction, and he just like he's like talking. He's like, yeah, yeah, and he's like looking down at me. We're just we're having a conversation, and like for half a second, he just like pulls down his pants, and it's just like a face full of dick, and I'm like, what? And then he puts it away, and I'm like, did anyone else see that? And like, the crew did not see a thing. I'm just like, no, no, he cannot get away with that. That is not allowed.
So were you like at eye level with his?
Yeah, no, it was like my eyeballs were like eye level with his balls, like.
Wow. So your eyeballs were level with his mandals.
And it was like a forest in there. And like so then for the rest of the shoot he just keeps doing it. Or like because like the way we film is that like I don't like to really print out scripts very often. Like I do, but I try not to when I can. Mainly because I don't have a printer. But so we all have our scripts on our phones because I have an app. So he would just come over and be like, "Hey, so I'm thinking about this scene," and I'm like, I'm looking at the phone, and I'm like, "Yeah," and then he just like pulls it out again, like, and it's like right there, and I'm like, "Ricky, stop!" And he thinks it's hysterical, and I'm like, "No, it's not." So that episode, there's a lot of
balls.
There's a lot of balls in my face.
You get that put on a T-shirt.
I survived episode 29.
Yeah, I survived ball game.
Break on through the other side of his pants.
Balls.
His balls.
Balls.
Okay, so what Pavel Hall means to you? I think I've already kind of said it. It's like my film school.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But what inspired it? Yeah, Marble Hornets, of course. Like, it wouldn't have been found footage if it wasn't for that series. Though a lot of it now is very much a mix of 24,
Very good choice.
Lovecraft, and a bit of Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
And more so in the newest drafts. Also, of course, Silent Hill. Has a lot of that in it. It's sort of a mixture of them. Also, it was basically because back then I made a lot of comedy stuff, and I always wanted to do serious stories, but none of my friends ever wanted to do serious stories because we were like 16, and why would you? So like, I just wanted to do something serious, so at first it was on my own. And so it kind of stemmed from that, like wanting to do better stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
And wanting to not be doing the same old stupid schlop that wasn't even that funny to begin with. Because I'm bad at writing comedy. I'm good at improving, just like bullshitting my way through like anything. But you give me like paper, and I'm like, knock knock. It's like, what are jokes? Are you jokes? What is jokes?
I'm jokes.
I can't joke on paper.
Has to be in the moment.
Yeah, like all my comedy is just like off the cuff, like that's a joke. But like I can't write jokes. I can't be So I can't write comedies because all of them have sucked so hard. Because I'm not funny scripted. Like I can't do it.
So you're telling me you didn't write Julio, the quest for Julio?
I didn't actually. I think that was Will.
Yeah.
Will and
What
Will,
what the fuck is Julio, the quest for Julio? What the fuck? I do not know this, so let's tell the whole audience.
It's a it's called Julio Quest.
Yeah.
And it's a stop motion series that Will made in high school about our friend Julio who plays Frank. And it's atrociously amazing.
Yeah, I only said Julio Quest, the quest for Julio, because that would be the third one.
Yeah, that's right. That we never
would
made.
Would the second one be Julio 2 Quest for Julio?
I forget what the second one was called. He made two of them. He never made a third.
Yeah,
There
unfortunately.
needs to be a third.
Yeah, complete the cycle. It's like poetry, it
Yeah.
rhymes.
It's like poetry. It rhymes. Hopefully it'll work.
Yeah, no, Will does a lot of comedy. I'm not. Will does not do serious like on his own. Like I'll cast him in serious stuff, but he he will not actively make a serious thing by himself. Will actually wanted to do a side series to Pavel Hall that was just Corbin's misadventures,
I
and
would
I
watch that. I
and I
would watch
had
the
to
hell
tell
out of that.
and I had to tell him no,
Oh,
because also like they were gonna like do a lot of stupid stuff. I heard some ideas and I was like, no, I forbid.
This cannot happen.
Like you cannot do this to me. Because I think they were gonna like do the like they were gonna get a different person to play Pavel every episode and have them wear a wig. That was the joke. Though
that would be.
at this point I don't care because there's enough spoofs of Pavel Hall to where I'm like whatever.
Yeah.
I love all the spoofs. It's like my favorite thing.
Yeah,
Is all
there's some damn good ones. There's meme trash.
there's like not a bad Pavel Hall spoof video, and I'm so happy. To the point where like it's just those videos have become commonplace in like the house. Like
Yeah.
Jesus, they're so good. Like fuck Dalton though. He's
Oh, that's not the first time I've ever heard the word fuck Dalton.
fuck Dalton. Like he's a bitch
Yeah, he is.
with his fucking Eastern documents.
Eastern document.
That's when because I want to make a spoof of West Records called Eastern Documents. Because fuck him.
I want to help out.
You better.
I think I'll get in on that as well from across the ocean.
Yeah. Fuck Dalton. I love him though. We don't talk a lot because he's really busy with his theater stuff, but I
Yeah.
love that man.
I was meant to I did a tiny chat I think last year for She's the Huntress, and we started talking about Magic the Gathering, and we were supposed to have a couple of games over Skype, but it never happened because he's busy and I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dalton's a busy man. He has a lot of stuff. Well, he's like a professional filmmaker,
I know.
and he's like such a professional. It's like I love him and I hate him at the same time. Like, cause he showed me some stuff he's worked on, and I'm like, you bitch, how dare you?
It's like, how do I be you?
Yeah,
That would
that's
be.
why
That would
like
be.
I wanted to shoot season 3, but I doubt it's gonna happen because of how sporadic the film is probably gonna be. But I don't know. I haven't gotten into production yet, but I know I want Dalton to come. Like we talked about him flying over here and shooting the season because I love his style.
At least direct an episode.
Yeah, at least like
Yeah.
something. Because I know. Sorry, I was reading something. uh,
I just thought you blue screened for a second. Just
no, like Michael commented on my status, and I was like, "What did Michael say?" But I know I want Josiah to direct an episode. I know I want my buddy Anna to direct an episode. I know I want Mike to direct an episode. I know I want Dalton, if he can, to direct an episode. I want to direct some episodes.
That would be nice. That would be nice.
Or at least, because that's the thing, like, with Pavel's appearance lessening, or as I write more, the more I get to direct because I don't have to be on fucking screen.
That is true.
Yeah.
And it's funny how you just like you enjoy that. You're like, yes, less of
Well,
me.
because, yeah, less of me, because I don't think I'm a good actor per se. Like, I don't think I'm that good. I more so want to direct. Like, acting is like a whatever. Like, I like acting a lot. I don't think I'm very good at it. But I think I like to act more in things that I don't make. Like, instead of things that I'm making, I'm like directing, writing, editing, producing, like, which is why like there's some things that I might be in soon that like I'm not directing, and I'm like, fuck. So I don't wanna anymore. With like, people need to make more things for me to be in.
That's my attitude. Like, why aren't you guys helping me?
Yeah, help me be a better actor. 'Cause I hate playing Pavel.
Poor Pavel.
Fuck that guy. I went through an old notebook a few months ago because I got some stuff back from South Carolina, and I found an old notebook, like really early Pavel Hall stuff, like from 2012. And there was one page where I was really upset. I just wrote "fuck Pavel Hall," and I'm like, oh, I had a bad day.
I think
That
we've
must.
all been there though.
I do it every week. Like every week, I'm like, ah, this is stupid. I should just move on. Because okay, here's the thing: is there's two ways I could do Pavel Hall right now, and I'm taking the harder route. I could either make one final epic season where like I do a lot of cool stuff and there's a lot of cool like story or the easier route. The ending to Pavel Hall is already shot. If I wanted to, in a week or two, I could edit a final episode and release it, and it'd be over. Like I could end it right fucking now if I wanted to. If I really wanted to, I could end Pavel Hall. But I don't want to cop out like that, I think.
I could have ended my series, but I said no.
Because there's other things I want to make. Like, I have a show called Blossom I want to produce, which is like a mix of Skins and Fooly Cooly.
Mm.
So think about that. It's like a coming-of-age story, but it's like not traditional. Like, it's not happy. Really, some of it's funny, but like it's
Everyone's sad.
like it's real. Like it feels real, but there's also a lot of fantasy elements that sort of also explain what people are going through. I have a show called Blackbrook I want to make, which is like an episodic kind of like X-Files meets Marvel in a weird way that I really want to produce. And there's just a bunch of other there's also self-preservation, which is my zombie thing I want to produce. There's so many things I want to make. Like so I could, and I want to get to them really bad. Like I need to get to this. I need to do something new. I'm somewhat sick of writing new Pavel Hall scripts and writing stuff for Pavel Hall and then it not coming out. I kind of want to just be done, really bad. But also, I need to finish it. I need to get good. I need to do it well. Which is why this whole season's so fucking huge and insane because I could end it. Like I think of it like kind of every day. I'm like I could just end Pavel Hall. Like it could just be over. Like it could be done, but it wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be good.
Yeah.
No. It'd be on par with season 2.
Yeah, you're probably right.
But
it won't be as satisfying.
Yeah, it won't be as. And yeah, like with season 3, there's a whole slew of new characters that we've never even heard of before. There's just things that we didn't expect would happen in Pavel Hall. It's very different. But, I mean, who knows? I might one day just fucking give up and just release it and then regret it, but, at least it'll be over. And that's the thing, is that, like, I'm not very popular. Like, a lot of my friends have way more subs than I do. Like, I think almost a lot, especially the people I live with have more subs than I do. Like, people I know in person have way more than me. Like, by thousands. So...
Not me.
And not you.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna
definitely not me either.
Not thousands, but... That'd be so funny if I was just like, oh, look at that. I just got 1,000 subscribers.
Right.
I don't even think I've got 100.
Oh, really?
Well, when Cheese Hunters were being filmed, I don't think I ever broke 100. I don't think the blog ever broke 100.
Yeah. Like, I think for the first year or two, at least the first year, I had like maybe less than 100. Like eventually, like I just jumped to 200 something where I am at now, but it's nothing near where I want it to be. And that's why I feel kind of okay. I feel kind of okay if I just ended it now, because I don't have that big of an audience. So like, who the
Doesn't
fuck
matter.
cares? Yeah, I know. Then there's also like, but I need to feel good about it.
It's not just you though. It is you because obviously it's your creation. But then you've got the people that have subscribed, that have hung in there. They deserve better than the people who aren't watching.
Yeah, because there are people who are probably still subscribed from like, the first couple episodes.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
also I haven't uploaded in a fucking year.
Oh God, you're right.
Yeah, like it's been a year since the new episode, which is kind of why I wanted to do the audio thing to give them something to hold on to while I'm busy.
Mm.
And like it would be kind of short. Like I don't want it to be super long, like a few episodes. Also, finding the cast for that's gonna be fun because I've sort of used up all the people around me already.
No, for voice stuff, it's a lot easier to find people online. Like,
Yeah.
you probably haven't talked to Nathan, but he's already in like 4 audio dramas right
Oh
now.
yeah. Yeah, I'll probably get Nathan to be in it.
Yeah.
I haven't really used Nathan in Pavel Hall or Justin. I've always meant to,
Yeah.
You can
but I
always
haven't.
borrow my voice as well. I'm not just British. I do other accents, other terrible accents as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you do it? Can you do a yank? Can you do can, can, can you do Matthew McConaughey?
Oh my god.
Matthew McConaughey.
Looking back.
Hey, just hanging, just smoking some weed, just you know. Yeah, my accents are terrible. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Over I was just up in Arlington with Josiah and Karina for like almost a week, and I think every day it was like Matthew McConaughey impressions.
From me.
Yeah, from you. I would go to you and be like, "Hey, do this role, but Matthew McConaughey."
Yeah, I forget which one you told me to do, but it was.
I'm trying to remember. I think it was the Battlestar one.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Gaius. It was Gaius Baltar, but Matthew McConaughey.
It works.
I just got a
Yeah.
message from Chris, as in my Chris, she's Hunter's Chris, saying in big capital letters, "I'm watching you."
I got
So,
a message from
hi
Karina
Chris.
earlier that said the same thing.
Really?
Oh, she should
Are
get
Chris,
in on this.
are Chris and Karina together?
I have. That'd be.
Because I hope for her sake, no.
Ah. Oh,
I love you, Chris. I love you, really, really.
I don't
Full stop.
believe you. No.
He knows I love him. That's why I put him through so much torture with She's Huntress, because it's the closest thing he's got to having sex for a while. Love you, Chris. Yeah, I
Man,
do.
Josiah. Speaking of torture,
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm intrigued as to what's coming with New Trial of Leaves, seeing what you guys are getting up to at Halloween Part 1 and Part 2.
Halloween.
It's Halloween.
And seeing Karina covered in bruises. It looks interesting, but her character, I swear to God, the mystery behind her character is going to give me a fucking aneurysm.
You know what's great about that is that afterward we went to a restaurant and didn't take off any makeup.
Why not?
Well, cause why? Like that just takes time, right? So like we went in and like
Food is more important.
we just went in covered in blood and was like, "Can I have a burger?"
That's probably the most interesting thing to happen to whoever served you for a very long time. It's like, yeah,
Dude,
so what did you do today? Oh, I served some guys that were covered in blood and a girl that was covered in bruises, so...
I don't know. The chick who we got seemed pretty into it. Like, 'cause we were just kind of talking about filming, and she was just sort of like on the register, kind of like, yeah. So I just messaged Josiah asking if I could talk about this, because I don't know how secretive, but I directed an episode of Trial of Leaves.
Yay!
He did.
So in a bit, eventually that episode's gonna come out, and it looks. I'm gonna say this right now. It looks so fucking good. We spent like 6 or 7 hours shooting it, right?
Yes, about 7.
Yeah, about 7 hours like non-stop shooting.
I'm
Like,
ex- I am
oh,
excited.
it took all fucking day.
It did.
Jesus, like it was crazy. Um, Also because there's a lot of like, it was I don't want to say much, but fuck, that was intense. Like, also, yeah, whew.
I'm excited, but as I say, my biggest thing at the moment is just who the fuck is Kara? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I had a theory for a while that she was going to be a god,
Huh.
but you know, apparently she said I'm wrong. If I turn out to be right, I I'm just going to be.
Yeah.
Also, the other thing which I who did I say it to? I spoke to someone. Basically, next year at some point, I'm going to Canada to see my sister
Huh.
who's having a baby. She lives in Calgary.
Yeah.
I did not realise that Washington was pretty much just over the border.
Yes.
So at some point next year, I may be knocking on your doors,
Good.
and then you'll soon realise just how short and British I am.
Well, I'm pretty.
Wonderful.
I'm technically taller than you, but I'm still pretty short.
Yeah, that's pretty sure.
How short are you? What?
I'm like 5'5".
Oh, you're
Yeah.
2 inches taller than me.
I'm a
You're like,
little. I'm a little thing.
you're like a head shorter than I am.
It's great because like the two other guys in like my house are like 6 something,
Yeah.
and so like we chill and I'm like, wow, this is awkward.
Yeah, Chris is 6'4". There's another guy I play Magic with who's like 6'5", 6'6", and when I stand between them, I look like a child.
Yeah. So like, I technically don't have a door in my room. I have a sheet that covers
That
the
that
entrance.
that's got to make masturbation awkward.
Yeah, I have to
It
wait till like
does.
3 in the morning, and then it's like, well, I hope I'm safe. And then I'm like midway through it, and I hear someone walk into the kitchen to get like a drink, and I'm like,
Just holding it. Just is it safe? Is it
like,
safe?
Is it secret? Is it safe?
when can I continue? Yeah. No, it was bad because like, the first month I was here. Wait, let me move the camera. So that curtain wasn't up,
Mm.
and wait, let's get you. And where is it? Where's the? Yeah, see that little curtain? That's my
Yeah.
door technically, and that wasn't up either. So there was a solid month of like nothing happening, and it was the worst. I hated it. But so whenever that, because it's like up with thumbtacks, so whenever one of them comes off, I'm like, Mike, could could you put the thumbtack back up, please? I'm really tiny. And he's
Oh,
like,
I'm well, my husband to be is 5'10", 5'11", which is just tall enough. But if you're short, you always need at least a tall friend or a tall spouse to reach things.
yeah,
Either
that's why
that or a stool.
we would have a stool, and it sucks because like I can tell when I go to get a dish who's done the dishes last
Because
by
you're like,
like where things
oh,
are
I
placed.
can't reach.
Yeah, it's like, oh look, the bowls are on top of like all the plates. Gotta climb
That's
up and like shit.
brutal, people.
Yeah, it's like I can tell who's done it by like where they are. It's so annoying.
I love how this chat was originally about, Pavel Hall, but so far now we've spoken about masturbation and tall people.
Yeah.
That's what Pavel Hall
Okay.
is about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wanking and reaching. Wanking and
It's
reaching.
it's evolved. I've changed so much as a person over the course of Pavel Hall. Like I've been through so much bullshit. Like I've changed so much. Like
I
on
think it's really bad
Tumblr.
though when you're trying to do something creative like Paddle Hall, like a series, and if everything was just to remain perfect in your personal life, you could get it done. It would look fantastic. It'd be amazing. But then bullshit like people and breakdowns and jobs and money start getting involved, you're like, you know what, fuck it.
Like, I had to kill off a character because of personal reasons. Like out of the show reasons. And that sucked.
I made a character just leave. I mean, Usman was meant to be Endgame, but me and him basically don't talk anymore. Haven't spoken for like 18 months. So it's like, yeah, he's leaving. He's gone forever. Bye. And I literally did that. It was just, yeah, he's gone. And I hated that because I was like, that's so bullshit.
Yeah, I had a character. I don't want to really get into it because I've talked about it a lot before. But there's a Jack was supposed to be around for a long time. Like, he was Kathleen's character. Like, Kathleen was going to be a character, but her role was going to be very tiny. Like, she had such a small role originally. But then Jack, the actor, did some stuff out of the show, and I had to let him go because I couldn't. So then he died in the next episode, which I'm glad that he came back to film that. Like, I'm glad that, because I think he understood what he did and was like, okay, I'll come and I'll shoot my death scene. I'm like, thank you. And
That's fair enough.
And I kind of had to give all of his character's duties over to Kathleen, which I think is for the better because I like that Kathleen a lot. But I also didn't like the fact that I introduced a character, they're there for an episode, then they get killed off. And I hate doing that. It sucks. I don't like it.
As I say, it's people. People make everything difficult.
Like, it was easier when it was just me, but also it sucked more.
Yeah.
Like, when it was just me, I can control everything, but also it was atrocious. Like, I need people. The thing about film that people don't get is that if you're a writer, you can pretty much do it on your own. Like, you do need editors. Like, that's the only thing you need to go to other people for, and proofreaders. But, like, if you're a painter, you just have to paint. If you're an illustrator, you just have to draw. If you're a musician, you can like do a solo album. But like film, you need a team. You need a director, you need a writer, you need at least one editor, you need a cinematographer, you need a director of photography, or they can act as the same person, doesn't matter. You need someone who knows lighting, someone who knows how to capture sound well, and they need a team of actors. And that's just like your base like minimum. Then there's like, grip and like everything else. And like that's the thing about film is that like and that's why so many people like make found footage stuff. It's because you don't need a team. Because you double as director, cinematographer, and actor in one capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And like you don't need lighting because it's all supposed to be natural and feel real. Sound is captured into the camera itself, typically, so you don't need someone to capture sound on the side. I think, and so all you need really is editors and actors, essentially. But also, you could be the editor. Like the thing about film also is that like you can do a lot of roles, but it hits a point where you have to have other people there.
Yep.
Like, I spent forever doing like 20 things. But once I started giving roles to other people, it got better because I could focus on the one thing I was doing.
Yep.
That's why I like episode 35 so much, because I was just directing.
Yeah.
Except for that one acting scene, but I was basically just directing. Like,
and that was a good fucking episode.
And it was great because I could focus on making sure this aspect was fantastic. And that's why I love it so much.
Mm.
Which is why I don't like early season. That's why I don't like season 1 really. That's why I don't like a lot of Slenderverse videos or Fear Mythos vlogs. Is because of what you're trying to do to save money or save time or because you're lazy or whatever the reason is. It's not going to be as good because you're not focusing. Because you have to be the director, the writer, the editor, the cinematographer, the actor. All at once, and it's hard. Like people can do it, but fuck, it's difficult. it's my rant. We went from masturbation and back to me spouting nonsense.
Well,
So
it's
is there
like,
anything else? Oh
oh
yeah,
yeah,
go on.
you got any more questions, Josiah?
I don't have any.
Okay.
Let me check. Let me check the tumbles. Maybe someone sent some. I
That'd
don't
be
know.
nice.
Cyril's like,
Well,
no.
oh god.
I did get a message from Thero last night that I didn't answer because Thero doesn't bug me as much as he does anymore as he used to. So I'm not good at reading it anymore.
Yeah, Farrell only really bugged me when Huntress was a video series. Now, obviously, it's me just working on the novel. He sort of dipped off, but then when he realised I'd come back to Tumblr, he then started asking me questions about my weight. Yeah, yeah. And it's like I'm not ashamed of that. I'm trying to lose weight. That's a thing. But it's like, yeah, there is more to me than my weight, Farrell. Thank you very much.
Jesus, Thero. Oh, whatever.
Yeah. And also, I know on the brilliant Dirty Slenderverse Confessions blog, he asks a lot of questions about fapping to Heather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love that blog.
Well, moving on from him, so we're not just like throwing around gossip and shit talking people. Yeah, is there anything else? Because we hit 1:30, well, our time. Claire, I have no idea what time it is.
It is 9:30 in the evening here.
Okay.
I am currently in the future.
That's ridiculous.
That's
I
so
know
weird.
it's nighttime here. It is nighttime. I've had my whole day, and yours is just starting.
Yeah, like when I messaged you and saying, "What are you doing today?" I just like woke up.
Yeah, I got your message, and I was like, today's fucking gone.
So here's my question: if you guys are ahead of us by like a day,
Yeah.
right? In your history books, are all your dates different?
Jesus.
I have never thought of that.
That's what I want to know.
That's so nasty. Why would you say that?
Because it's like the War of 1812 started on. Oh no, it was the day after. What? Huh?
Hey.
Like, and celebrating anniversaries, you're like, I'm so confused.
It's confusing. Basically, as far as I know, things still happened when the history books say they happened. I don't think they took into account time zones.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Yeah. Let's move on swiftly from that before we all give each other headaches.
Yeah, because it's funny because one of the actors who hasn't really shown up in Pavel Hall yet, he plays the president of Breaking Apathy. We've never seen him because reasons, but he actually lives in Australia. So whenever I message him, it's like he's almost like a full day ahead of me. I think it's like 21 hours ahead, and I'm like, oh god.
It's like you messaged me. What did it say on my phone? You messaged me. Why is my phone doing that? Okay, so you messaged me saying, "Hey, now my time. That was 6:25 in the morning. It must have been about 10 o'clock the night before for you." And I'm like,
Yeah.
what the fuck, Sal? I'm asleep.
That happens a lot. Where like, you'll message me and you'll be like, "Good morning," and it's like 1 a.m. for me, and I'm like, kind of.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I'll be up here and I'll be like, I can see either one of you guys or Karina online, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's nighttime for you guys. Why are you awake?
Because we're weird.
It's like I've always had friends, like since I was 16, I've had friends in different countries, so in America, Australia, New Zealand, so I'm willing to work around time zones. But it's just funny when I remember that basically you guys are in the past.
Yes.
And you're in the future.
So
I'm in the future.
Here's my question. If
Okay.
it takes 8 minutes for light to reach Earth, and you guys are a day ahead, are you getting the same light in the future? I'm so confused.
Right. Let's get this straight. I live in I live in the great United Kingdom, we don't get daylight.
That's true.
We get grey. That is all we get. Grey.
We sometimes get daylight if like the world's nice to us.
Yeah, I
That
vaguely remember daylight. It's nice.
that was what was so hard about shooting the last couple episodes of Trial of Leaves. It's like we were shooting it like 1 in the morning, and it was like so muddy and rainy. Oh, wait, Josiah, did you want to tell the story?
Oh God.
Story.
Did you want to tell the story?
So we
Josiah,
may
tell me the
have
story.
been filming in a park, and the park's closed at dusk, but this park's just wide open, you know.
Hmm.
Like the gates open and everything. Like
Yeah, you can just walk right through it. And so we were filming some stuff, and I realized that it was literally turning into Halloween because it crossed into AMs and became Halloween.
I mean, Halloween.
It became Halloween, and then the cops came, and they must have like been driving by, you know, because it's Halloween, so they gotta like check all the public parks and make sure there's no druggies doing anything. So they saw my dad's van that I drove out there because I drove it up close to the entrance of the gate thing. They just came out and then they said, "Hey, what are you doing?" And we're just like, "We're just filming." And they're like, "All right, go home." And we were like, "Oh." But we tried to hide at first, but
Yeah, but like
they
they saw
said,
our flashlights.
and they said, "Come out." And I was like, "Okay." And then I started walking towards the guy, and I'm like, "Hey, you never identified as a cop. How was I supposed to know?"
Yeah,
Hmm.
then he was like, "Hey, don't walk up to a cop like that. It's a good way to get tased."
And I'm like, "Okay, can I stand over here?" And he's like, and I'm like, "I didn't know you were a cop." Just because see, so basically, for some legal jargon, um, basically, I would have plausible deniability if I was in court. Like, let's say I was somehow prosecuted. Like, even though my the people who were there with us said, "Oh, it's a cop car," they were
Actually, they
hiding.
didn't, because like Karina was like, "Is that a cop car?" And like we didn't, and like we were all like,
Yeah,
"I don't know," because
yeah, and
like
so we did.
we couldn't see.
Yeah, so we kind of just hung out, and then he came up and said, "Hey, come out." And so when I come out, if he doesn't identify himself as a cop, if he were to tase me, God, he'd get sued so bad. Because this is America, damn it.
Yeah.
We
And thankfully
sue
he didn't.
we sue people for not saying that coffee cups will have hot stuff within it.
Yeah, you guys sue for the dumbest reasons.
I think it's just because we can. We're just like, oh, let's just
And
sue
again,
people.
over here in the UK, we have a show that's on at sort of 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so before kids are coming home from school, and it's called Judge Rinder. And so unlike in America, obviously you've got Judge Judy, who's
Yeah.
actually a judge.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Well, in our country, you can't show actual court cases. So the guy actually isn't a judge; he's a barrister for a start. He is also really fucking camp, and I mean super camp. He does jazz hands in court. It's amazing.
Oh my
But
god.
it's brilliant. I'll link you a YouTube of it. Anyway, basically, people will take people on there for the dumbest reasons. Like one woman bought a mobility scooter off eBay, and it didn't charge up as much as the person on eBay said it did, so she was suing him for like 2 grand. We used to be a
Yep.
nice country before America got involved. Well, I
Oh
say
my
that.
god.
It's our fault that America exists. Another thing, right? I watch Ghost
Yeah.
Adventures. I watch Ghost Adventures a lot. I love it. And Zach Bagans is all like, "This house is haunted. It's been around for 60 years." Are you shitting me? There is a pub like down the road from me that's 400 years old. I
Yeah.
acted I acted in a theatre that's like over 1,000 years old, and because a building is 60 years old, that's apparently haunted.
That's old in America time.
I know, because your country's like 5 seconds old.
Oh. Oh.
It is. No, it's yeah. Savannah's a fun city to go to because everyone thinks it's haunted, and it's like maybe like 100 years old or so, and it's like
It's like there's somewhere that I'm gonna go very soon in the city centre here. Um, there's a part of town called Jewelry Quarter, which is what it says on the tin. It's where the jewelry's made. Um, and there are catacombs underneath it that are probably 600-700 years old, and I really can't fucking wait to go because I love that spooky shit.
Yeah, I missed going to Savannah because it was a great city. I miss living near it. But Seattle's awesome, so whatever. Go Seattle.
Yay!
Actually, we're shooting some Pavel Hall in like the city.
Ooh.
Yeah, and like not found footage stuff, like cinematic, like actual scenes in Seattle.
I'm excited. I'm excited for new Pavel Hall. I'm excited for new Trial of Leaves. Just give me new stuff that I
Deal.
can feel over. I need feelings.
Gosh.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's something
No.
else.
No, I don't have anything at the moment.
I think everyone should check out my weird Slenderverse AU that I'm writing that features the 3 people
Oh yeah.
in the history. In fact, actually, our arc is us 3, and it works out
Yeah.
that we'll get on.
I read the first chapter, which I loved, and and then I got to the second chapter, and there's people I didn't know,
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I'm so confused.
Well, the third one's got like the third sort of set of people is Will and Britt, well Chandler and Corbin, so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Oh.
I picked these 9 people for specific reasons, as you'll see as it goes on.
All right. Yeah, because I don't watch a lot of stuff, honestly, or read a lot of stuff. Like, I'm very much the hipster who just doesn't do things.
A bohemian hipster who reads.
A lot, as we can see. Not so much Josiah. His library is better than mine,
Yes.
which makes sense because he's, the blind man. He's true to his name.
See, yes, I can read.
It was really funny. Every time I go up to Arlington, I see a new location from where we're going that I didn't notice before. So me and Karina were walking, and I look over, and I'm like, this mural looks really familiar. And I'm like, oh my god, it was in the movie. And then like the other night, we went to one of the parks that was in the movie. And I was like, this is so cool.
There's stuff in the thing from the thing.
It's like in the movies. All right, so I think we should. I think we're done. Happy
Okay.
30 year of fucking Pavel.
I thought you said 30. I was like, oh god.
Happy
30
Pavelween.
years.
Happy Pavelween.
Happy. Oh my god.
Pavelween. Well, considering
Yes.
that story you told us earlier, it really is Pavelween.
So everyone go tell your friends about it. Make them watch it. Everyone should just go rewatch it. And if you want, you could buy a T-shirt.
Buy a
Make sure you buy
t-shirt,
a T-shirt.
or you
Email
can buy
me.
pants, which I'm going to
Comment below in the webzone if you want a pizza roll.
do. You guys are so fucking weird.
Does anybody want a pizza roll?
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Oh my god.
And I think on that note you've lost me, so the stream can probably end now.
Yeah. All right. Love everybody.
Yeah.
Bye everybody.